greatness. It's just something we made up. Somehow we've come to believe that greatness is a gift, reserved for a chosen few, for prodigies, for superstars, and the rest of us can only stand by watching. You can forget that. Greatness is not some rare DNA strand. It's not some precious thing. Greatness is no more unique to us than breathing. We're all capable of it. All of us.
I always believe leaving no stone unturned. That's what makes you a champion. When you're out there partying, horsing around, someone out there at the same time is working hard. Someone is getting smarter and someone is winning. You never want to fail because you didn't work hard enough. But if you want to win, there's absolutely no way around hard work. No pain, no gain.
We're wired differently. We have to set a goal that if we hit that goal, we're guaranteed to make sure all that other stuff in the middle is going to happen. Why 3 o'clock in the morning? Why don't you sleep? My appetite. I said, E.T., I want more. I can do more. If I accomplish this without a father, if I accomplish this with my mom being a teenage mom, if I accomplish this as a high school dropout.
How many of you believe in your life that your worst day can become your best day if you turn it around?
If I can accomplish these things from this start, now that I'm at this place, knowing what I know now, what can I accomplish? And I want you to think about that. I want you to think about more than just what you're going to do financially, more than what you're going to do in this industry in the next 3 years, right? More than that. What's your appetite? What are you going to do that will ensure that when the alarm clock goes off, that you're already up 10, 20 minutes before your alarm clock goes off? Why? You gotta grind. You gotta go through setbacks and disappointments. You gotta go through it. I'm talking about grit. I'm talking about endurance. Just having more stamina than they got. In order to get to the next level, you gotta sacrifice. You gotta take risks. You gotta be willing to do by faith whatever you're asked to do. Listen to me, there are no shortcuts to success. There are no discounts to success. It's always sweat. It's always blood. It's always tears. You always have to give all to be the best.
And I think it's important to remember, we talk about content is king. We hear that a lot. And I think if content is king, then context is the kingdom. And even when you forget someone's name, which I know we've talked about in the past, and how important a skill it is to show someone you care by remembering them. One of the questions you ask yourself is, where do I know this person from? Because with the where creates the context, and then often the memory is there also as well.
Yeah, it's interesting. Now, I want to talk a bit more about that because, as our devices get smarter and they become more of who we are, that whole thing of why do we need memory is something I'd really like to revisit today. Because, 5 years, 10 years from now, we'll still have, we'll be partial cyborgs maybe at that point to speak to Elon Musk, but yet the memory is still really important.
Yes.
And I'd love to talk about that.
I've done, and I'm looking forward to going deep in that. I do trainings for Google, and it's, they're organizing the world's information. And my mission really is helping people to remember the important parts of it, because memory is a force multiplier. It's one of those things. I challenge anyone to think of anything that they do or want to accomplish that doesn't require memory. Anything, whether it's kinesthetic body memory or remembering, like if we lost, look at the other end. If we forgot half of what we know or knew, half the words, half the people, half of our expertise, we wouldn't be very functional. And so imagine if we could double our capacity to learn in a fraction of the time, that we become extremely productive and powerful. And I'm not talking about frantic fast. When I teach people how to read 2 or 3 times faster, I mean in efficiency and effectiveness. You can imagine when you were, great documentary, by the way, Iron Mind, when you're training for something, your body, if you had some kind of physical challenge, or let's say we're walking up a hill, you could do it at a level of efficiency and effectiveness than somebody who wasn't in as physically in shape, because you're strong and you don't have to use as much energy. The same thing when I read, whether it's reading a book a day or people see me on stage, 100 people stand up and introduce themselves, and I recite everyone's name or large numbers or
Remember
words.
numbers, they say.
Everyone can do that. And it's not something, there's no such thing as a good or bad memory. There's a trained memory and an untrained memory. And this works no matter your age, your background, your career, your education, your financial situation, your gender, your history, your IQ. None of that matters. What matters is, just like with anything, is focus and putting in the work. And so it might not always be easy, but it's so worth it. It's like describing to somebody what a rainbow looks like that has never seen a rainbow, or describing what a rose smells like. Who's never smelled a rose. And that's I believe people. My mission is, I believe people have genius inside of them, and I'm not talking about an IQ or a number. I mean, they have strengths and talents, and I want to be able to create an environment where they can let it out, because the world needs